Are you ready to talk all things MSPT? Well, now's the time because I'm Chad Holloway, joined by Kyna England, and this is episode 11 of the MSPT podcast presented by PokerNews, the first Kyna of 2026. Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year. Yeah, I'm excited. Here we go again, new season. We already got one event in the books, one happening right now, so bring it on.
That's right. We're going to talk about the Venetian New Year's Poker Open. And as you mentioned, right now, the MSPT is at Sycuan Casino just outside San Diego. We don't have the main event of that yet, but there have been some side events. We're going to jump into that. We're going to make our predictions for 2026 as it relates to the MSPT. We've got some major news, a major announcement that just came on the MSPT Twitter account. And I'm going to have an interview, hopefully, with the gentleman who's at the final table of the mini-main event at Sycuan, Scott Aulds. Fingers crossed, because I sent him a message. He's still at that final table as we're recording this, but hopefully he'll be on the show a little later on. Well, let's talk about the New Year's Poker Open at the Venetian. This is one that you actually played.
I did. I just tried it once. It was fun. It got a good turnout for being like right around New Year's Day and a holiday, and yeah, I had a good time. It's not the easiest of fields, right? But gave it my best, and you can see some, obviously who the player that won it is quite a player. So, but fun event, always fun to play with Venetian.
Yeah, you mentioned 349 runners, $500,000 in the prize pool. This price point was $1,600 for the buy-in in this one, and Matthew Wantman taking it down for $96,000, defeating Dan Olson in heads-up play. Got 1,400 Player of the Year points, so he's technically atop the Season 17 Player of the Year race. And as you mentioned, it was just a stacked field. These Vegas Venetian tournaments, especially when it's like specialized, like the Poker Bowl is going to be pretty stacked come February. This one too, I think, is you get those Las Vegas grinders, and it is a tough field there.
Yeah, I mean the one around the Super Bowl might be a little bit more of a diverse field though, because you get a lot of people coming to Vegas for the Super Bowl, and people want to play poker, so we'll see. Maybe it'll get a big turnout. It's always fun Super Bowl time in Vegas. Lots of hype, lots of busyness, lots of parties. It's real fun.
And your Chicago Bears are still technically alive because they defeated the Green Bay Packers in epic fashion.
What a game, man. Oh, my God. And you should have seen me yesterday. Me and the girls went to Green Valley Ranch and got a table at the pizza place. And just the first three quarters, I was just a miserable jerk. And as the true Bears fans go, you know what I mean? Just angry and this isn't even a game. And in good old Bears fashion, fourth quarter team pulled it out. It was so exciting, though. There's lots of hype there. It was great.
Yeah, being in Wisconsin, I was rooting for the Packers, but I got to admit it was a good game, and the Bears are very impressive. So, and we'll talk about the Poker Bowl a little bit later on. I'm actually going to be out in Vegas for that one. But back to Matthew Wantman. So taking down this tournament, becomes an MSPT champ, gets his first gold card, and wins, like I said, $96,000. But to him, look, I'm not going to sneeze at $96,000, but for him, because he is kind of one of these guys who plays at Poker Go Studio, he's a high roller. According to the Hendon Mob, he has just shy of $11 million in lifetime earnings. So I don't want to say it's a drop in the bucket per se, but he's definitely been on that stage before.
Hey, a win is a win, though. It always feels good to win a tournament, no matter what the stakes are.
Yeah, and Matthew Wantman, just a crusher. His all-time high score is $530,000. He finished third in 2025 in the Onyx Super High Roller Series. He also won the WPT Aria Summer Championship back in 2019 for $443,000 and finished runner-up in a bracelet event this summer, the six-handed 3K event. I think it was number 49 on the schedule for $382,000. Finished runner-up to somebody we're both familiar with, Kyna. Do you know who Matthew Wantman finished behind for the bracelet in that tournament? I'll give you a hint. He's a California guy. He's a WPT champ. He has a man bun. I think he lives in Vegas, though, or he has a place in Vegas.
Oh, Tyler? Is it Tyler?
It's Tyler.
Tyler was playing in the Venetian, too. He was, at the table next to me. He's such a nice guy. Always a good time. Very positive energy, so.
Talking about Tyler Patterson, of course. Great guy. He's been on the PokerNews podcast with me.
There. Fun clues.
Some others who cashed in this event, John Riordan, finished in 9th place. He was at the final table. He was the only name that really jumped out to me at the final table other than Matthew Wantman in terms of kind of bigger names. But coming up just short, Jeremy Becker. He actually bagged the chip lead on one of the day 1A flights, finished in 15th place for $6,200. And it came just like less than a week after he won a Venetian side event in their deep stack extravaganza that's happening right now that this MSPT was a part of.
Yeah, I played that one too.
Jeremy's always tough. Kafir Nahum, he was 16th place, and I always will remember Kafir Nahum because he is, I want to say, the first ever MSPT Venetian champ, or at least the first Poker Bowl. Oh, no, I'm sorry, it was the Poker Bowl 2. I remember this now. It was in 2018, the Poker Bowl 2, 827 runners, and I was there. Kafir Nahum won it for $108,000. And so I've just always remembered that name, and I always see him crushing in Vegas tournaments.
I think it was Chance Corneth won the first one, I think, ever.
That could be. I'd have to go back. I should do a little article on Poker News about the history of the Poker Bowl because this will be the 10th edition that's coming up. But have to wait and see. There was also 20th place in that tournament was one DJ Buckley, $5,369. But what was interesting about this is his record 80th main event cash. He leads the all-time MSPT main event cashes with 80. Which
it's awesome.
That's a pretty impressive feat. Like I have a hard time cashing 1 or 2 a year, and this guy's out there cashing in 80 of them.
Well, we see DJ a lot at the MSPT stuff, so he follows the circuit obviously and puts in the work. So good job, DJ.
Now, do you want to guess the difference between DJ's on top, and you can guess the player who's in second and how many cashes behind he is?
I feel like Josh is up there, but I don't think he's second.
You're wrong. He is. Yeah, you got it.
Second? Oh, okay. Oh, of course it's Josh. I don't know. 67.
Woo, you're close. 68. 68. Yeah.
Almost
Rob
Wazwaz was 69, but...
Rob Wazwaz in third with 67. Aaron Johnson, WPT Prime Champion, 66 cashes. Umut Ozturk with 64. So it's a fun race. You know, they got all the leaderboards over there at MSPTpoker.com. And I know it means a lot to a lot of the players. So congratulations to DJ Buckley on that one. And let's see, I'm scrolling through some of the results here. Ryan Reese, Michigan boy, 2013 World Series of Poker main event champ. Cash that one in 33rd place. So Lily Coletto was in there, 39th place. So some big names cashing in that MSPT event. So that was it for the first stop. They kicked off season 17 in style, and it just feels like I don't know, like after the close player of the year race in season 16 between Umut and Jake, I think both of those guys might want to take a little breather, right? Like they're putting such a grind.
I actually texted Josh because before I went to go play that 1600 to see if he was in Vegas, and he said that they were thinking about going, but he was just wanting to enjoy some time home after traveling so much the last year. And I think he said he'd be in Arizona. I think that's what he said to the next one he's going to go to.
Yeah, we're going to both be there. We'll talk about that in a minute. But before we do, let's talk about the current stop, which is the MSPT Sycuan Casino just outside San Diego. It's the Golden State Poker Championship. It kicked off on the 8th, so it's happening right now. It's going to run through the 19th. It has 19 gold card events, so plenty of side event action. There is a $1,100 buy-in main event that's going to take place this coming weekend. So if you're around and you're looking for a great tournament, definitely check that one out. But right now, as we're recording this, the $400 mini main event is taking place. This is a tournament that got 330 runners, and it is down to the final. I want to say the final 3 as we're recording this. I'm not quite sure who's going to win, but I'm going to do an interview here shortly with Scott Aulds. That is technically taking place tomorrow, and I know there will be a winner, so we'll talk about that. But I know you've been to Sycuan before, right, Kyna?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like it there.
It's I think I told the story once where I went hiking in the hills around Sycuan.
Yeah.
It's a big
you are
no-no.
not allowed to do that. Do not go hiking on the trails, no matter how pretty and tempting it looks.
Yeah, Rattlesnake Central apparently, but luckily I didn't see any. There have been some side event winners crowned already though, and there are some first gold cards, if you will, after Matthew Wantsman. There was event number one, which was the $300 PLO, was won by Jeremy Quinard. So Jeremy Quinard taking down PLO event, and then event number three, because I think the mini main event is number two. Event number three, the $300 mixed PLO no limit hold'em, was won by Ed Langevin. And then the only other gold card rather, the MSPT's version of a bracelet, there was a $400 event number four, $200 nightly. That was won by Manuel Hernandez. Interesting, Michael Starrick finished runner-up in event, and it was event number three. Michael Starrick is a crusher at Sycuan. He had the all-time lead for gold cards early on with four. He's since been surpassed, but he's just one of those hometown crushers in San Diego, and I won't be surprised if come next podcast we're talking about him winning another gold card kind of.
Yeah, it's exciting. There's still some more events to go, so.
Yeah, a whole bunch of them. Let's see. I'm looking. So Michael Starrick is currently tied in second place with four gold cards with Josh Reichard. Jake Long, of course, is on top with eight because he crushed those side events in season 16. So that's it for the winners right now on the MSPT at Sycuan. Unfortunately, we're recording this as it just got underway, but come next episode, we're going to be able to recap that. However, I am going to toss it here to an interview that I did with a gentleman who actually reached out to me late last year. He loves the show. He said he was going to be at this MSPT stop in San Diego. His name is Scott Aulds, and he had $15,984 in MSPT career earnings before making the final table of the mini main event. So I thought, you know what? Let's have our kind of first recreational MSPT grinder on the show. Here's my chat with Scott Aulds. All right, I am with our guest for this episode of the MSPT podcast, Scott Aulds. Am I pronouncing it right?
That's perfect.
We teased that you were going to be our guest, and that was even before I knew that you won the mini main event out there at the MSPT at Sycuan. We're going to talk about that in a moment, but before we do, I want the viewers and listeners to get to know you a little bit better. You actually reached out to me in late 2025 about trying to do something. I said, you know what, let's wait until MSPT Sycuan rolls around. And we've made it happen, and just perfect timing because you ended up winning. But for those who don't know, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm a local San Diegan. I've been here since 1996. Currently a building contractor. I've had my own company since January 2000, and just avid poker player.
Yeah, it's awesome because you are one of we see at MSPTs a lot of regional regulars, if you will, and you're definitely there at
Yeah,
Sycuan. I've seen you have multiple gold cards behind you. Have you
there they
won
are.
have you won multiple events there at the Sycuan?
Uh, yeah, I won two events in September.
Nice.
I won the seniors event and then the green chip bounty.
There it is. Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now on
Yeah.
your profile. And now you have this mini main event title. Let's see, it was a $400 buy-in. It had 330 runners. What was that tournament like, for you to go deep and then ultimately win it?
Well, actually, this was one tournament that things went really well for me the whole time. My flips held, and I had a big stack on day one, and then I was chip leader going into the final table, and I held my lead all the way through, and then we got heads up, and it went back and forth 5 or 6 times, and it happened.
Yeah,
It was really exciting.
it was exciting for me because I knew we were going to do this interview and didn't know if you were going to win. I'm like, oh, even if he finishes in third place, it'll still be a good interview. But to have you actually
Yeah.
take it down, it says in the reporting $23,000 in your third gold card, and you can see in the background you have them all displayed. What is it about? Like, is it home field advantage for you out there at Sycuan? Is it a place you're very comfortable playing?
Well, yeah, there is a comfort zone, and I've played so much, and people know how I play, and that gets to them. And I bluff a lot, and I rarely get caught. And so people try to catch me, and I've got it when they try, and I don't have it when they don't. That's it's been a run good for all of last year was really strong.
Are you familiar? I know he's got, I think, four gold cards, and he always seems to be winning events out there at Sycuan and Michael Sterick.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we're good buddies.
Yeah.
We've got a battle going on.
I mean, I would
Yeah,
say,
he was in the final table yesterday as well.
wow.
And I cracked his aces to knock him out. So
Yeah, wow. And you're only one gold card now behind him. So, um, I know he won a bunch of side events there before the MSPT kept track with gold cards, but yeah, and is exciting. Now, I'm looking at the updates for this tournament. It was a 2-day tournament, right? And did you bag a big stack on day one?
yeah, I was 334,000. I was third for the day. And I mean the chip leader only had maybe 40,000 ahead of us.
Nice.
So yeah, it was a solid stack. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
really good stack.
Where does this rank on terms of your, your poker life, your poker accomplishments, if you will?
Well, it's a really big stepping stone because last year I played mostly the side events, the smaller stuff, and I was just trophy chasing. And I've been telling people that this year I'm going to mostly try for the 2-day events and bigger stuff. And my goal is to double my Hendon mob this year. And this is a great start. Pat bankroll, and I'm ready to go.
That's a good. Me and Kyna are going to give some, like predictions and goals for 2026 a little later on, and that's a good one to double your Hendon mob. I like that a lot. So, and you're right.
Yeah,
It is a great start.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
will we be seeing you playing in this weekend? Will be the championship event there, $1,100 buy-in, 1,110. It is a 300K guarantee. The MSPT main event. Hoping you're going to be in that one, right?
I absolutely. That's first day I'll be there.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
I love to see it. And then I got to ask you, I've interviewed a lot of people, and your background is among one of the best that I've seen. Are those cat toys that are going up and down the stairs there?
Yes, yes. We've got 5 wildcats.
That is
And
awesome.
yeah, they tear it up. Yeah.
And
That's
then,
probably their favorite running spot. One will run across the top and then one will run across the stairs trying to chase the other one. That's pretty comical.
it looks like
Kind of would love it.
quite a collection of what are they called?
Ge- Yeah, gems,
Gems.
minerals,
Yeah.
geodes, a little bit of everything. Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
a hobby?
I've slowly turned this into my trophy shelf. Yeah, I like poker, I got obsessed and I built a huge collection. So they're everywhere in our
Yeah.
house.
It looks nice, and it does look nice with the trophies there. I probably should have started with this, but it just, came to my mind. Like, how did you get into poker in the first place? How long have you been playing? When did you learn the game?
I mean, it goes all the way back to high school. We used to play quarters in high school during lunchtime and when we weren't studying. And then, I grew up in Michigan, so we played a lot of cards like hearts and spades and whatnot. And getting into video games, I liked the challenge of the poker ones, and then it just turned into playing live. And then I think I started playing pretty heavily around 2002. Played online every day until Black Friday, and then got into live and just expanded. Been playing ever since. And I've always enjoyed tournaments because there's a start and a finish. I was pretty heavily into the cash games, and the variance in cash games is pretty hard to take sometimes. But a tournament, you've got a set amount, and you play that amount, and either you do well or you don't, and you go to the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't miss those Michigan winters? You like that San Diego weather out there, huh?
Yeah, I'm comfortable.
Yeah, I'm out here in Wisconsin, and we still get the cold weather here. But it's one thing I like about the MSPT though is they go everywhere, right? You get to enjoy it out there in San Diego.
Yeah.
They're going to be here in Wisconsin in March, I think. They're going to go to Firekeepers in Michigan, so plenty of offerings. What is the ultimate goal for you when it comes to poker? Obviously this year you said you want to double your Hendon mobs, but you like wanting to win a MSPT main event, WSOP bracelet. I know is obviously on most people's list.
Yeah, all the above. I'm gonna slowly build my bankroll and see if I can get some backers for the bigger stuff. But for now, I'm just gonna stick with the main events, and I might do a little traveling. LA is just hour and 45 minutes away, so there's a lot of big events going on up there a lot. and just stick to the big stuff and see what I can do, build a bankroll. And yeah, I go to Vegas every year, usually for a week. This year or last year, I only went for 4 days. But yeah, chasing that bracelet, that's everybody's goal.
Absolutely. Well, Scott, I do appreciate you taking the time to chat. Congratulations again on the mini main event win, and hopefully, some good luck in the main event.
Yeah, thanks. Keep you posted.
All right, we are back. Thank you to Scott Aulds for taking the time to chat with us here on the MSPT podcast. It is the first episode of 2026, and we did this on the Poker News podcast, so I thought it'd be fun to do it here as well. Make some predictions as to what's going to be coming up this year, at least how it pertains to the MSPT. I told you, I texted you the other day. I said, give it some thought. Did you come up with any good predictions that you're willing to share with us?
Well, I'm biased, because I have a lot of friends on that circuit. So I'm going to go ahead and say that Angela Jordison wins her third MSPT title.
Ooh.
She's won one every year so far for the past 2 years. So
That's true. I mean, I would never bet against her. Have you talked to her? Do you know if she's planning to play a bunch or anything?
She's coming to Arizona. She generally plays all those ones out in the Midwest. So I think we're all going to Pato too. So we'll see. Pato will be hopefully a fun one. I'm going to try and I took the weekend off work. I'll see if I can find some decent flights and get out there, and hopefully it's not too cold.
I mean, I played a Pato one year, and it was literally during a polar vortex. And, I'm born and raised in Wisconsin. I'm used to the cold, but man, I think that's the coldest cold I've ever experienced in my life.
Yeah,
it was miserable.
It's like your car doesn't start kind of cold. So hopefully it's not like that.
It was, and it was I actually did it because I seen it on social media. You boil some water and you take it outside and throw it in the air, and it doesn't come down. It freezes. So, the MSPT will be at Potawatomi for the Club Poker Championship, February 17th through the 22nd. We'll have a couple shows between now and then, but definitely one to mark on your calendar. $1 million guarantee. I'll be there. Kyna will be there. It's an hour down the road from me. It's my, probably my favorite stop because I get to see the hometown heroes. So that'll be a fun one. Before that, though, Kyna, a prediction for me is you're going to make some noise on the MSPT again early on like you did last year, because I know you're going to the Showdown Series at Bally's Blackhawk, January 14th through the 25th. We've talked about Blackhawk, Colorado quite a bit, and I don't know, I'm excited. I got a good feeling for you.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go myself, too. I'm sure I'll know people there. Oh, I don't know if I should say that. But no, that's okay. We'll be in a casino. It'll be safe. But yeah, I'm going to go by myself, do a by myself trip. And, it's just nice to be out there. Again, I hope it's not too cold or snowy, but it's just the air feels cleaner out there. Feels like, good time to get away from Vegas for a little bit. And, check out. It's like a little casino town, too. And I love casinos. So it'll be really fun. Hopefully I see some of you guys out there.
You're going to take your two big, vicious guard dogs as well. So
yes, and my taser, all of my tasers and pepper sprays. So everybody better watch out. No, it's going to be fun, though. Yeah, so I'm going to go to that one. And then we've got Arizona, which it seems like Arizona's, being hyped up a lot here in Vegas. I think a lot of people from Vegas are going to make the trip out there and go. Talking Stick is a nice place to be, too. The weather is slightly different from Vegas, but similar. And it's going to be a big turnout, I think. And their room is really big from what I hear. I haven't been there, but I've heard good things about that. They have lots of tables and lots of space. So,
yeah. So I was living in Vegas I moved out at the end of 2024. But earlier that year, my dad came to visit me, and we drove down to Arizona to spend a day. And I said, you know what? I've never been to Talking Stick. I've heard great things. Let me swing in there. And so we did. And I saw the poker room. I didn't play. I didn't have enough time to actually sit down, but I did spend some time in there chatting with people. And the room is amazing. It's huge. The property is pretty fantastic as well. So I'm going to fly in. I'm actually going to fly into Vegas. I'm going to drive from there down to Talking Stick. I will be in attendance. I know you're going to be there as well. We're going to record a show while we're on site, our first on-site MSPT podcast, so that's exciting. I'm going to get in the streets. I'm going to play a little bit there. And then afterwards, I'm going to drive back to Vegas. It's about a 4.5 to 5 hour drive for those wondering. And then you have the very following weekend, the MSPT Poker Bowl 10, which is the $1,600, I believe it is, buy-in, and this coincides with the Super Bowl, right? It finishes on a Saturday as opposed to usually Sunday, so people can watch the big game.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. Lots of fun poker stops ahead. I mean, I probably will play that one too. Like the Super Bowl weekend, seems like a go. Like there's always so many in my vicinity here at the beginning of the year. So maybe your prediction is a good one. We'll see.
And then right after the Poker Bowl, February 10th through the 16th, just want to shout it out. The Ohio Poker State Championship, $750K guarantee at Jack's Cleveland Casino. I love Cleveland. I love that casino. As I've mentioned before, it's not a property that's been built from the ground up as a casino. It is a old 1950s downtown department store building
Yeah.
that was retrofitted as a casino. And I know they're running satellites right now. That's one of the great things about this property is they run satellites well in advance. And so you're going to have a lot of satellite qualifiers. That'll be a good one for anybody who is able to make it. Another prediction, Kyna, is for myself because I'm like, you know what? I am going to Talking Stick. I am going to go to the Poker Bowl. Potawatomi is right after that. Boy, I'm about to play a lot more poker than I have. So my prediction is this. Number one, I'm going to play a lot more poker in 2026 than I did in 2025. Even though I had 4 cashes on the MSPT in 2025. The most impressive, being third at Riverside. But I'm going to go out and say that I have at least double that I have 8 cashes on the MSPT in 2026. Hopefully another final table in me. I've made 3 final tables, finished third, and fifth. And so I want to be in that club. Third, fifth, and fifth. I don't want to give myself too much credit, but I want to be in that club with you and Josh and Umut and all these other great legendary players and actually win an MSPT title. I'm not predicting that it's going to happen. I'm just saying I want to.
In order to cash 8, you got to play at least 8.
I will.
We'll see. We'll see if you even play that many. I'm not sure. We're gonna have to keep track.
Yeah, I'm looking at the schedule.
How many MSPTs this year Chad has played so far?
It does help that they're coming to Potawatomi 3 times in this year, so that definitely does help. But let's talk predictions for maybe Player of the Year. We're not going to say I think this person's going to win it, but do you have any guess of who might compete for it? I haven't put it on any feelers. I haven't talked to anybody, so I
know it's hard. It's a hard thing to even put your finger on until there have been a couple of them, right? I don't know, who's going to chase them as hard again. Maybe Emote again. Maybe he just skips a year. Maybe DJ. Maybe DJ gets it in him, you never know.
I like that. I actually think, DJ, that's a good prediction because DJ loves it. He has at a lot of them. And he has all these, leaderboard records, but I don't think he's never won Player of the Year. I know that. I don't think he's ever won an MSPT title, right?
He has not won an MSPT title, and he's not won Player of the Year, so he needs to do one of those things in order to be in the Hall of Fame, I think.
I mean, that's going to be my prediction is that he does one of those 2 this year.
Yeah, okay. That's a good prediction, too. We're going to watch you, DJ. You're on our radar.
And then let's see. The MSPT, as we're recording this, has awarded $234,032,880 awarded to date. What is your prediction as to what that number will be come the end of season 17? I haven't done any crunching of the numbers to know how much they award in season 16 or anything like that, or how much they award per year. And you can kind of do the rough math, but the tour's grown so much. I'll set the line and you tell me if you think it will be higher or lower. So it's at 234 million. I'm going to say that by the end of the year, that number is going to be 260 million.
Wait, what was it? 218?
No, it's 234.
234.
I'm going to change it. I'm going to say it's going to be 270 million.
Mm-hmm.
You want the over or the under?
I'm going to take the under.
Okay. All right. We got to remember there's a lot more side events too, and those all count because that is money awarded.
Yeah.
So
I guess we'll see. I don't know. I would estimate at least $1 million, sometimes less, obviously per stop, 21 stops.
That's true. That's good. You
Maybe
did some good quick math.
25 million or so a year.
All right.
I don't know.
I see
we'll
you.
See.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think you're probably more on spot on, but I'll stand by it, and we'll have to see. And so the MSPT, I'm looking through. One big news that broke, this teased it at the top of the episode, was a major announcement, quite literally, because it pertains to the MSPT majors that they have. They announced that from October 1st through the 12th, so many months from now, but mark your calendar, they are returning to the playground in Canada for what will be the second ever Canadian Poker Championship, $1 million guarantee. This is, I don't know, pretty exciting to know that wasn't just one and done there, that it was successful, and that they want the MSPT back up north.
Oh, yeah. When is that one? The end of the year?
October 1st through the 12th.
Okay, fun.
And I don't know, this one feels like, because you've never been, correct me if I'm wrong, you've never been to Playgrounds.
No, we're not going to be able to go to that one either. Bad timing, man. Like, there's really, I got to take that's the perks of having a seasonal job, right? Like, you get some downtime to go do some fun stops. Certain times I could take a few days off here and there, but when I'm busy, I'm busy. And so, I'm going to miss it, probably miss that one, miss Firekeepers too, but it's what it is. It's a lifestyle.
No, I hear you. I might try to get up there. I've been to Playground before, but never to play. I've always been there to work World Poker Tour events. Love to go up there and play an MSPT, so we'll see. And then also remember that every main event winner between now and basically November is going to win a seat, an added $3,500 MSPT championship seat to the Rock and Roll Poker Open, the RRPO. That is taking place November 18th through the December 2nd at the Seminole Hard Rock in South Florida. It's going to be the MSPT Championship down there, which I think is pretty exciting. They basically supplanted the WPT down there for the RRPO, and everybody who wins a seat, it's not going to be a tournament of champions per se because it's open to everybody, but you're going to see all the champions from season 17 up to that point in this event, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's definitely pretty cool. And added incentive to try really hard to win one. And get down there, So hopefully timing works out where we can go down there too. I haven't been to Florida in quite a few years, so it'd be nice to go again. Say, hey, we're doing new things this year. Going to Colorado again, going to Talking Stick, going back to Pato. Why not Florida?
Yeah, I agree. And it's a great time of the year because it is football season, even though we haven't even closed the door on this one. It's going to be new
football season, I know. It's at the guitar, right? It's at the guitar?
It is at the guitar,
Speaking of the guitar, wait until you get here and see the guitar. It is only half built, and it is massive. It is scary massive. So when you come to Vegas, you'll see. It's I don't wonder when they're going to finish that. I mean, hopefully they take their time. Take your time and build it safe. But it looks massive compared to all the rest of the Vegas skyline and everything.
Yeah, I'm excited. The last time I was there late last year, I was pretty impressed with where it was at. And so to know it's even further along, and it's right across from the Venetian, essentially. So I'll be able to see it during the Poker Bowl. That is pretty exciting.
I mean,
it's something to look forward to.
I go down to the Strip once or twice a week, right? And I think I was there for Christmas, and I was walking down the Strip on Christmas Day. And I was like, oh, there's the guitar, okay. And then last week, just a few weeks later, and I was driving in, and I'm like, it is noticeably bigger now. So you'll have to tell me, though, if you think.
All right. Well, when I'm there and you're there for the Poker Bowl, we'll go outside and we'll make sure we take a picture in front of it so that we can put it in a future episode as well.
Yeah.
So, well, that is going to do it for this episode, number 11 of the MSPT podcast presented by PokerNews. We will be back in a couple of weeks with another episode in which we'll be able to recap the MSPT at Sycuan. We'll have a winner, and then I'm not quite sure how that coincides with Blackhawk and where you'll be, but we're going to figure it out. And then, of course, we'll be at Talking Stick, which I'm really excited about. It's going to be huge. Hopefully, anybody that's in Vegas or in Southern California, make your way down. Kyna and I'm sure we'll be having some drinks. Would love to interact with some people. We'll be sporting our Tilted Compass, even though I'm not. You are. Merch.
It's me. Look, guys, it's me.
And speaking of which, if people do like that hoodie or the hats, I've got the MSPT hat sitting over here. It doesn't really fit over my headphones, but or t-shirts, backpacks, and want to go to Tilted Compass and order something, they can save a little money, Kyna.
Yeah, so if you go to Tilted Compass and you pick out something you like, you can use code KYNA, Kyna, for 15% off.
There you go. All right, well, that is going to do it. Do us a favor, like, subscribe, give us the 5-star review. The MSPT podcast is not going anywhere. We're very excited for a full 2026. We're doing every other week, so that's going to be 26 episodes in this season, if you will, kind of. And I'm looking forward to it.
And I've met a few people in the wild that have come up and say, you know, that they like the podcast. So thanks to all those people who are watching. Feel free, find me in the wild. You know, I'm usually at a casino and it's somewhere. So come up and say hi. And, you know, we look forward to seeing you at future stops. Thanks for watching.
There you go. She is Kyna England. I am Chad Holloway. And our podcast, like the MSPT, is suited for players.